Good morning, AP Stat students. Welcome back. Hope you had a wonderful spring break and it was restful and relaxing. Probably not what you had planned or had in mind for your spring break, but hopefully you got to enjoy some good time with your family and got to spend some time outside. The weather is finally getting beautiful, and that I think will help all of us get through all of this. So this video is really just to give you a little bit of an overview of our plans going forward for the rest of the semester. So obviously, I wish we could all be at school face to face. This is certainly not how I would prefer to be teaching, but I'm going to try and make the best of the situation. And just as when we're in school, just to let you know, I'm here for you, and I really care about your learning. I really care about you. So if you need anything, please reach out. And my goal is really to try and help you get the most out of the rest of the school year as possible, to prepare you as well as possible for your AP exam, and also just to finish your statistics education. So going forward, you're going to be well prepared in whatever you do next. So. Let's just start by giving a quick overview of the AP Stat exam. So before spring break, I made a video that gives a lot more detail about this. So if you did not get to see that, go ahead and you can look at this link in the PowerPoint that I will attach to this video also. But just really quickly, the exam is now on Friday, May 22nd at 11 a.m. Everybody's going to take the test at home on a computer, tablet, or phone. It's going to cover units 1 through 7 from the College Board, which for us is everything that we did basically, except for unit 10, which we just did briefly on chi-squared. So there's no chi-squared on the exam. So we've currently finished all the curriculum that is going to be covered on the exam. And the exam is going to be 45 minutes, which actually technically this doesn't quite add up to 45 minutes, but that's how they're describing it. There's going to be one question where you will have 25 minutes to answer and then 5 minutes to upload. The second FRQ is going to be 15 minutes. You'll have 5 minutes to upload, and that is the entire test. So we're really going to be spending the next 6 weeks up until the exam, really trying to get you as well prepared for that exam as possible. And everything we've done so far is going to prepare you for that exam. You've already been doing everything that you need to do well. We're going to just kind of hone in on some things that will help you really kind of focus on that type of test compared to what we've been expecting. Just one other quick thing is that by May 26th, the College Board is going to send your responses to me. And so I'm going to use that as an assessment also. So there will be no other final exam for you. I'm going to just use that as your final assessment. So this is kind of an overview of what we're going to do the rest of the school year. The next 6 weeks, we're going to be reviewing for that AP test. We're going to start for the next 4 weeks, basically following the StatsMedic review course. And then the last 2 weeks, we'll just do a lot more practice with FRQs for really trying to get ready for that test. And then the last 3 weeks, you guys are going to work on a final project. Throughout all of this, really want you to just focus on your own learning. I'm going to try and give you suggestions and things that I think will help, but you need to really figure out what's going to work for you. So I'm going to give you some more detail in a minute about things that are required, and then I'm going to give you a lot of optional things to do. And the optional things are really, you need to decide if they're going to be helpful and useful to you, and do what you need to do your best learning. We're going to be focusing a lot more on FRQs because that's what the test is going to be testing. And we're going to change the way we've been grading them. So far I've been grading them using points to really kind of focus in on the details, but we're going to kind of transition into using the same types of rubrics that the College Board will be using. And we're going to get a lot of practice with that, and it's just to kind of get you used to that. Just a quick note about multiple choice questions. They're still really useful to help kind of see a broad spectrum of different types of questions to try and get to misconceptions that you might be having. So I would encourage you to really continue doing practice multiple choice questions. However, I'm not going to really require very many of them. But again, really, if you find that they're helpful, I would encourage you to continue to do them to get some more practice. Um, so I'm going to kind of go over just the requirements for us going forward. And this is a document that I just want to read over with you, and you will get a copy of this also. But basically, the requirements for the next 4 weeks as we're doing the StatsMedics review course will be as follows. We're going to work each week using the StatsMedic review, which is pretty much you working independently, and I'll go over that in a little bit more detail in a minute, but I just kind of want to give you the overview of basically what each week will look like. We will also be doing a Zoom meeting once a week. So for first period, it would be on Thursdays at 9:30. For fourth period, it's going to be on Fridays at 10:30. And we're not going to meet for a full 45-minute session. We're going to meet probably for about 10-15 minutes. We're going to do an opener together that will focus on some mistakes or misconceptions that I've noticed from the previous week, or even something that I really feel like might need some additional explanation from that week. And we'll work on that together. And then the remainder of the period would be open for questions and answers if you have them. And that would be kind of like an optional piece. On this document, anything that's in this gray area here is optional. Everything on the left-hand side is required. So I'm hoping to see all of you at least once a week during either of those two periods. And then you will also each week going to have an FRQ, which will be an assessment. It'll be assigned in AP Classroom. You will do it on paper. You're going to upload it to Google Classroom, and I will grade it using this new AP rubric that you will be learning about this week. There's also many, many additional practice things on AP Classroom, and if you want to do more of them, I can unlock any of those if you would like. We're going to continue to use Google Classroom to upload all of your work and to turn it in. So each week, you're going to upload all of the FRQs from the StatsMedic review course, which again, I'll explain a little bit more detail in a minute. You're going to upload your opener that you've done during our Zoom meeting and also your weekly FRQ from AP Classroom. So I'm going to continue to use AP Classroom and also our Google website that we've been using throughout the year to kind of put your assignments on there. And then also each week there will be office hours on Wednesdays from 1:30 to 3. Think of this kind of like a tutorial time. I'm not going to keep the Zoom meeting open for that whole time, but it will be by appointment. So all you need to do is if you would like to meet with me one-on-one or even in a small group, you can just shoot me an email and we can set up a time for a Zoom meeting during that time period. All right, let's just go back to this StatsMedic review course here. So I'm going to send you a link to sign up for this today. But basically, this is what it looks like when you sign in. It's going to take you to this website. And you're going to start by doing the introduction. There's a video to watch, and then there's also documents to print. This is showing that I've already completed this. The documents to print, this is optional. There's skeleton notes that go along with all their videos, which you're welcome to print, and you can just print them all right now at the beginning of the course, or it also gives you options to print them as you do each video. So again, this is totally up to you whether you want to print these or not, or you can just take your own notes, or you can just watch the videos. That's really optional. And this is just an overview of the whole course. Then there's a diagnostic test, which again, I'm going to make optional. There are 30 multiple choice questions. It'll help you to kind of see where your strengths and weaknesses are with the course. But again, I'm not requiring that, but you are welcome to do it if you want to. Let me see if I can get back to the rest of the thing. Sorry. Okay, so basically what this looks like is you can see for each unit, we're going to start with unit 1. Most of them are kind of set up the same way, where there's about 2, sometimes 3 videos to watch. They're fairly short and they're really good. They just focus in on the main big ideas from the unit. And then there's a free response question. So when you would click on that free response question, you would do this on paper. This is one of the things you're going to turn in. When you're done, you just click complete step. And then the next part is actually a video that goes through the model solution and how to score it. So this is really good for you to see how you would score the the FRQs, and then after that there is another FRQ for you to try, and then just not a video, but it shows you the solution and how to score it. So that's basically the structure of each of those things. So we're going to work through each week. We're going to work through 2 units, and you would work through these different parts. There's also multiple choice questions, which again, I'm going to make optional. You may do them if you want to do some extra practice, but you don't need to. So again, for each week, there's about 2 units per week. You're going to watch the videos. You're going to take notes. Again, those are optional. I'm not checking those. You're welcome. I would encourage you to do them, but it's really up to you. You're going to complete the FRQ, watch the video that goes along with it. I would encourage you to make corrections and improvements using a different color, and then you're going to score your original response using the 4-point rubric that they explain. You're going to do the next FRQ, and then again, you're going to score that one. So you would do that for each unit, and that's going to be part of what you would turn in for in AP Classroom at the end of the week. Well, actually the following Monday. All right, I hope that that makes sense. And let's just go back to one more thing. So there's one more document that I'm going to share with you. And this is really just your kind of to-do list of what you should do today. So the first thing you want to do is sign up for that StatsMedic review course. So in this document, there's a link, and you should be able to click on that link and set up your account. If you have any issues with that, please let me know, and really try and do that by tomorrow morning. And then you're going to kind of follow through the directions that I just talked about. Another thing I would highly recommend you do is to pull out all of your unit summaries that you made. These are going to be really valuable to you. The test that we're taking this year is open note. So that means if you have really good notes, they might be useful to you. However, you have a very short period of time to take this test. So you're not going to be going through your binder looking for your notes. So if you have good notes ready to go that really make sense to you, I think it's going to be super helpful. So I would encourage you to go through all of your stuff and pull out those summaries, put them in a folder, have them ready to go. And as you're working through the review course, you can kind of add to them and make them even better. And then at the end, I'm going to encourage you to make one kind of a 1-page summary of all the most important stuff. So I highly encourage you to do that as you're working. The other thing I would also have handy is your formula sheets. If you don't have them, and also your tables, there's a little link here that'll take you to those. You can print those out and have them. The other thing is your calculator. Some of you might be getting a little low on battery, and if you are, there's a few things you can do. One is see if you have a friend that has a charging cord that you can safely borrow from. Or there's an online version of the calculator here, which you may use. It's not great because you have to have a different device to be doing that, but it is an option, and TI is offering that for free. You can also contact Mr. Severin in the office to see if you can check out a cord from them. So those are some different options for you if your calculator battery is low. And then the last thing is your progress checks on AP Classroom. So far I've assigned all of the progress checks from units 1 through 7, and you should have completed them all if you've done those assignments. However, not everybody did those. So I would encourage you, if you didn't do them, to go back and try and work on those. The Unit 2 one is due today if you have not done it. As well as the Unit 2, there's multiple choice questions and also the FRQs. And you can try and upload those on AP Classroom. If that doesn't work for you, you can also just send me an email with those, and I will look at them that way. It seems like it's not the best way to upload them, but you can go ahead and practice that and try it if you want to. All right, I think that's it for now. Thank you so much for listening, and hopefully I will see you on Wednesday and Thursday during our Zoom meeting. All right, bye.